So just yesterday, I was sort of doing deadlifts, and this guy comes around, one of the fucking NPCs around in the gym, and he's like, "Oh, hey, like I always see you here, like deadlifting. I almost see you every single day." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Yeah, I just, you do you like deadlift every single day?" And I'm like, "No, every other day." And he's like, but like deadlifts aren't safe. Like, why do you deadlift? They're risky and like the risk to reward ratio. And I sort of just stare at this guy and I'm like, yeah, I just like them. So he goes off, and it sort of got me thinking about how dumb most people are. Because, I truthfully see this all the time. People being scared of certain movements, they're like, oh, the risk to reward ratio, all this fucking garbage. And it's like, sure, like, just say you don't like a certain movement. But like, why do you have to make it risky and you're gonna die if you do this movement? In fact, when you sort of look at like I'm not the type of person who looks at scientific evidence, by the way. I totally hate modern science and all this garbage because I genuinely think that most of it's tweaked. But when you sort of see like these, sort of science studies saying that most people should be deadlifting, most non-advanced people, most beginners should be deadlifting to get stronger and obviously to build, stronger back muscles, which will help you obviously carry different things in your sort of day-to-day life. It's actually somewhat fucking crazy to think that people are so scared of the movement. And it's like people are like, you're gonna get injured, but it's like you're only gonna get injured if you're a fucking, strongman or some shit, and you fucking tear a bicep, and you're fucking on roids. Though that's the case scenario where you'd be somewhat scared. But to be scared of the movement of deadlifts just because it's a deadlift, it's pretty fucking stupid. And obviously, when you sort of look at how, bodybuilders just fucking deploy deadlifts, you can sort of look at Jay Cutler, and Jay Cutler actually used to deadlift in his training. And obviously, it was to give the body, the back specifically, the thickness, because you get this thickness, from deadlifts that you don't get from any other movement. You really just cannot get that same, not only feel, but just overall thickness for the back. And obviously, now you're getting into the territory of the 20% improvements. It's really not going to be that big of the difference for your, size, but it is going to give you this better thickness. And obviously, you get into this whole other side of things where you get into why people ego lift and why the biggest guys are usually the ego lifters. And it's primarily because ego lifting helps you to get thicker everywhere, because it not only trains your isolated little muscle, but it trains everything that is around it. And so you're doing rows, instead of just hitting your lat or instead of just hitting your mid back, you're hitting your entire back with your rear delts. And you're getting a little bit of biceps as well. And so it's just, I just find it stupid that people are like, oh yeah, but you shouldn't be ego lifting. And it's like, no, why not ego lift? Once you understand the movement deep enough and you know how to perform an exercise, why not fucking ego lift? Ego lifting got me 10 times bigger than when I wasn't ego lifting. Ego lifting got me to get 10 times stronger than when I was not ego lifting. When I was not ego lifting, I was barely rowing 2 plates. I'm not even taking the piss. 2 plates on each side on the fucking chest supported row. These days, I row 4 or 5 plates like it's nothing. And I just think it's fucking stupid. I just doubled the amount of weight that I used to do, primarily because I just started fucking ego lifting. And everyone's like, oh yeah, but but it's ego lifting. Yeah, and who gives a fuck? Ego lifting's fucking wonderful. Ego lifting not only fuels your ego, but it actually fucking gets you bigger and stronger. I just find this to be so stupid that most people will just completely neglect ego lifting and they'll stick to form because their skinny ass coach says, "Oh, you shouldn't be ego lifting because you might get injured." I think it's just so fucking stupid. Like, you might get injured. How the fuck do you get injured from ego lifting? So you're doing bicep curls, and instead of doing your usual 20 kgs each hand, you decide to do 22s. How do you get injured? Yeah, you swing a little, maybe you get a little bit of a lower back pump. Like, how do you get injured? I don't get this shit. Yeah, you're doing tricep push downs. Instead of doing 40 kilograms, you do 50 kilograms. You're gonna get injured. How the fuck do you get injured? You just fucking do the movement. Yeah, sure, you fucking have to get over the fucking weight a little. Maybe cheat a couple of reps, not full range of motion. Sure. How do you get injured? How is it risky? How is it problematic? I just think people are so stupid. They just listen to any word that is fucking said around the fucking gym. You know, actually do your own fucking research. Just do the fucking movement. Try it. You're probably not going to get injured if you add 2 kgs each hand. You know? I just think it's stupid. It's really fucking stupid. And the thing is, the reason ego lifting works is because it increases your intensity. When you're doing, 24 kg curls instead of 20s, you're going to be having more stimulus, more tension on the bicep. You're forcing your body to add more muscle. Versus if you just did the 20s and you're already used to them, well, what's the fucking point? And yeah, sure, I get it. There are some movements that are not safe. So you wouldn't ego lift on a preacher curl. You wouldn't ego lift on, a pec deck machine. It's like some movements just would not be that great to ego lift on. Some movements you can ego lift on, but you just have to have a spotter. So if you're doing, any kind of presses and you want to ego lift, you'd have to have a spotter with you just in case. But a lot of the time, if you're just going to, be doing a classic, whatever, row or dumbbell curl or hamstring curl, quads, squats, whatever, you're probably not going to need much at all. You could probably add 2.5 kgs, maybe ego lift a little, but fucking get the weight up and be just fucking fine. Worst case scenario, you just let the weight fall on the rack on a squat and that's it. So, I really don't see the point. People are like, you're going to get injured, you're going to get this, you're going to get that. I never got injured. I've been ego lifting now for about a year straight every single fucking day. And so I've never fucking gotten injured. I never even got close. And so I don't see where this shit's coming from. And so this is really just something to consider for you. If you, have the size, but you just really, you want an extra push, you want an extra 20% boost, genuinely start ego lifting. You're going to get not only stronger, you're going to also get bigger, you're going to also get thicker. Deadlifts, the reason I link deadlifts to ego lifting is because deadlift is exactly like ego lifting. People are like, I don't want to deadlift because it's too risky. When in reality, it's not too risky at all. It is a movement that will not only help you get stronger, will help you in your day-to-day life, but also is just a fun movement to do overall and will help you to build thickness. Most people have shit-ass hamstrings. They have skinny-ass legs. When you do some fucking deadlifts, you're going to fucking get bigger, stronger legs because you're working the hamstring and the glute. And so it's like, I really just don't get this shit, man. It's like people are dumb and people are going to fucking, say there's science-based bullshit all the fucking time. And, you could, I've never been that close to fucking science. I don't really fucking like science-based bullshit, which is why I fucking say this shit. And hey, if you want to fucking, find a study that says, oh, deadlifts are not effective, whatever, deadlifts are shit, don't do deadlifts, fine. Go to your own shit. But if you want a maximum amount of fucking gains, then you have to fucking look into ego lifting and deadlifts. So anyways, that's really all there is to it for this video. As long as you come into the work, you'll be getting your results.